How's it going? Back at it again, and we are at the off season again. And we have lost our manager and first base coach. And that will be the first thing that I want to do. To be honest, it's going to be tough because I don't remember who we had. I like Pedro Sixto though. I'm going to make an offer to him. See if he takes it. We'll go with Tom Chin on this one. And here is the moment that we've all been waiting for, and I'll make an easy decision here by accepting the team option. $7 million for Langford. A very easy decision here. Here's where decisions can get tough though, and when you look at Walker, he wants a 5-year, $160. I think Jordan Walker is worth every bit of this. This contract of 33 per. And Colt Keefe's, of course, worth the money he wants as well. But I think for the best interest of the Royals, we're going to be tendering the qualifying offer for both of these players. With Ben Joyce, he's at 32 years old. He wants to be a closer. And we are not willing to give him that. So I'm going to allow him to also leave and become a closer. And the rest of these guys, we just don't really need. Tom Chin accepted the offer to become the first base coach, and after that day went by, the Royals organization has made a statement, and it says the Royals organization has decided to extend qualifying offers to Jordan Walker and Colt Keefe. We will not, unfortunately, make contract offers to any of our unrestricted free agents, Walker, Keefe, Joyce, and others. We'd like to personally thank these players for bringing this team 2 more World Series champions, bringing a winning presence to this organization, teaching the younger, growing talent the right way to be a professional player, and being a good member of our community. They may be gone, but they will never be forgotten. We as an organization are ready to move on with our young talent. We trust that we can keep building a winner moving forward, It may take a few years, but we are excited for a new challenge. Thank you, everyone. And with that decision, we are going to move on from Jordan Walker, Colt Keith, Ben Joyce. And, with Miranda and Stevenson, you could potentially bring these players back. But we want to see what's in free agency before we move on. And Jordan Walker has become a free agent. Maybe the biggest news of it all. And, we were going to trade Walker and do all this stuff. But I just think it's only fair to Walker for him, for what he's done to this team, this organization. I think it's only fair if he got an opportunity to hit the open market and get the money that he deserves. We're going to be adding Luis Santana to the 40-man roster. Roshi Fong will be added to the 40-man roster and will make his spring training debut. Chad Bennett will be added to the 40-man roster and he will make his spring training debut. Joel Fong will be added to the 40-man roster. Roosevelt Bell is eligible for the Rule 5 draft, and I think I'm going to keep him unprotected. I'm not adding everyone to the 40-man roster. I'm going to leave some players unprotected, I believe. We have 38 people on our 40-man roster. We're going to have to tender contracts too. I totally forgot. How new Odell with the year he had. I think I want to give it another year before I go all in. Odell, I'm gonna give him a raise to 900,000. And keep it moving. Juan Castro. And he has not earned, I would say he has not really earned the contract extension yet. Solid player though. I mean, he's gonna be at the bottom of the order probably next year. I don't think I'm gonna lead him off. I'll contemplate it, but I think he's got another year to prove himself, and we're gonna renew his contract at 910,000. Diego Cabrera will be on the roster, so we'll allow him to make that much. Definitely an interesting year for Garrett Reed. Maybe he can make the roster, maybe not. This is taking quite some time. Alright, we finally have all the contracts offered. It took a while. And arbitration with Patrick Franco and Noah Curtis. Curtis is out of his mind wanting this much money. He wasn't terrible by any means, but we'll give him 2 years, 6 million, just to not have to negotiate with him anymore. But we will do arbitration of 2.1 million if he refuses. And with Franco, he's got 3 years of arbitration. He wants 1.6 million. I'll do arbitration of 1.1 million. Not really interested in offering him a contract. I really just don't know much about him enough. And going into free agency, of course, Jordan Walker is the #1 free agent, and we will be watching to see where he goes. And going into free agency, Dixon Lane, of course, would be our DH. Carrara, our third baseman, and an open spot is at second base. We will fill in Noah Curtis there, but looking at the roster, if we can upgrade at second base, would be nice. Look for some bench bats here. We got Tim Wells and Franco penciled in to be a bench bat so far. So we'll look for a couple pieces, and looking at the rotation, don't need much. But let's venture into free agency. We have so much money in surplus. We could easily sign Walker, but I'm just not gonna. I'm ready to move on. I want him to go make as much money as possible. The only thing I hope for Walker and Keefe is that they don't go to Minnesota. They can go anywhere else, and I will be alright with what happens. But if they go to the Twins, I'll be very disappointed in them. And when you look here, you got Brooks Lee, a switch hitting guy. You could be a shortstop for us, but I mean a second baseman. But he's looking to get a longer term contract, and I'm not too in on that. I just don't know how in I'm in on these free agents. You got Brady Singer. A reunion with Singer, that would cost us 15 million. No thanks. What would a reunion with Myers cost? 14, 15 mil. Chase Hampton. The Yankees got a lot of their pitchers as free agents right now. Here's Max Mayor. Michael Kopech still hanging around. Orlando Nunez is a free agent. This is something that is intriguing to me. Nunez is a very good reliever. I wanted to draft him. He had a very high bonus demand. And the only thing about Nunez is he wants to be a closer. At catcher, another place I would be interested in upgrading is catcher, and Harry Ford is the best guy you can get. I don't think I'm that interested. Naylor is interesting as a backup. Wants a lot of money though to play backup catcher, and maybe Ivan Herrera isn't a bad idea. Looks like a solid backup. I'll lowball him at first. I'm really not interested in it all the way, but Fanuelo at 37 is still very good. Andrew Vaughn out there again. Did his service with Boston, 46 homers in a year. We kind of ruined his career, you could say. I mean, 14 home runs that year, but very seldom used at the end. I'd be more interested in Vientos if he could play second base. Vinny Pasquantino. Got Willie Castro here, who is actually pretty interesting. He can do a lot of things. He only wants 6.8 million. I might make a play for Castro here. Got Renhefo who can do the same kind of thing, and he is intriguing. We bring in a Luis Renhefo reunion. Cal Garcia, he hits the open market again. He wants big money, $20 million. God bless him. Go get that money. I think I might be interested in Oswaldo Cabrera. No speed though, very scary when it comes to that. But he can play second. He can field very well. Jazz Chisholm is a free agent. I'm in on him. We only have 2 open spots on the 40 man, so I think these are the only 2 offers I'm gonna do. Jordan Walker is a New York Yankee on the first day. He has joined the evil empire for an 8-year, 242 million dollar contract, and God bless Jordan Walker. I am very happy for him. He will be a great Yankee. It hurts, but it doesn't. I'm happy for him. Ben Joyce, he goes to the Padres after beating them in the World Series. He signs a 2-year deal worth 10 per, and he will be all right. But I think I'll be all right facing against him. The Yankees re-signed Chase Hampton. Man, I'd be in on Perdomo, but man, I don't really want to make that move. Juan Herrera is no longer interested. The Herrera market has taken off. You know what? I'm fine without getting him. We're gonna extend our offer a little bit on him. Orion Kerkering is a Met. No one signed Cold Keefe before the qualifying offer ended. Louder goes to the Cubs. Cold Keefe signs a 7-year, $200 million contract to go to the Atlanta Braves. A very interesting choice. Pedro Sixto, he took his sweet time to make that decision. Jazz Chisholm is signed. We have one spot open on the 40-man. Yeah, I'm just really not willing to open that spot up. Maybe I'll think about taking someone in the Rule 5 draft, really. Quinn Priester signs a 3-year deal to go to the Washington Nationals. Cade Horton, a 6-year deal to go to the Brewers. Harry Ford, he's a Red Sox. Emerson Hancock goes to the Rangers. A 5-year deal for Elvis Martinez. CDN Rafaela jumps from the Red Sox and now he's a Yankee. Max Meyer, he will head to Houston. Chase Alarter, he goes to Tampa. Fernando Tatis Jr. has been traded to the Detroit Tigers. What a shocking trade this is. I don't quite get it. Tatis is on the downside of his career with almost $50 million these next 2 years. And Detroit's taking a huge risk going for El Nino. They're getting rid of Kevin McGinnell and Keith Cogan. Don't even know who those players are. I mean, it's not a bad trade when you think about it like that, but the Padres are trying to get rid of some of the money. Brooks Lee, he signs a deal to the Brewers. And here's the draft lottery. We're going to pick 30 this year. We'll see who wins the draft lottery. White Sox had the best odds. And the White Sox win the #1 pick. The Braves jump to the 3rd pick. The Rockies have the 2nd pick, and the Rangers get the 4th. Not much changing in the draft lottery. Kind of how it was supposed to go. Pretty interesting. Leody Taveras goes to the Cubs, and Davison de los Santos. Alex Manoah, he goes to Houston. Still got some quality players here with Nunez. He's getting offered $4 million a year. I could swoop in and get him right now. Matt Wallner, a free agent. I think this team gets a little bit more exciting with Jazz Chisholm out there. We're definitely younger and interesting, but I think Jazz is a great player to add to this group. So I like that signing. For Sedania, he gets picked in the Rule 5 draft as well as Martin Gonzalez. So 2 players taken off of our organization. Sedania already reached his potential basically, so I'm not too upset of losing him. Jimmy Gregorio. Honestly, using this for a catcher is probably the only player I would do it for. See, Roosevelt Bell would be someone I thought would get picked. But we do lose Oliver Cedeno and Martin Gonzalez. He is a Blue Jay now. And I'm fine with that. I was okay losing those players. I wasn't interested in Martin Gonzalez. Our first base talent is, we're stacked at that position. We Just got another one in the draft, Sandy Denson. There's no need to hoard that position. I'm feeling pretty good about that position. Second base, it's more of a question mark, but you got to consider Diego Fuentes even at second base. Like Montenegro, he can play second base, I believe. No, he can only play first. Well, that's a little bit disappointing. Fuentes, I'm not against giving him an opportunity. I just don't want to rush him. So I'm probably gonna let him play this next year out in the Double A. But 21 years old, I definitely would consider. We got Chad Bennett who could play second base as well. He's got great speed. He's lurking around to be that Bobby Witt replacement though. Only 2 years left on that contract, but I'd like to keep Witt around until the end. I kind of like to keep him around like I did with Salvador Perez. Langford's interesting. I would like to extend him, but I'm not gonna break the bank for him. It's gonna be interesting to see what he wants, and we'll go from there. Cross. He's only got 2 years left on his deal as well, and I don't know about Cross. I just don't. He's kind of in the way of some people I'd like to see play. Got to see how the Fong twins do in spring training. Moving on. Alex Faccia, he goes. And Tristan McKenzie, a 1-year deal to the Diamondbacks. Still got players like Jackson Merrill out there to just have. And he can play second base. Man. He only wants 14 as well. I would love to do it, but it's just not right. He's coming off a down year for Atlanta. Geraldo Perdomo is still out there as well, and man, if I was all in on winning a World Series right now, I would love to sign Perdomo. But I want to use the younger players, and Perdomo wouldn't help that case. So guess I'm just gonna have to pass on Perdomo. Alexis Diaz goes to the Mets. Drew Gilbert to the Giants. I was going to say the 49ers. And Maikel Garcia, he signs for his $20 million and he heads to Washington. This is St. Louis, not Washington. Very stupid of me to think that's Washington. Casey Mize, he jumps Burrows and heads to the Mets. Padres are interested in offering a trade. They're offering Owen Murphy and Chris Harper for Walter Wannabe. Owen Murphy. B potential, but hasn't even proved himself. And Chris Hooper, who's got solid potential. He's a good, young, talented guy. For Walter Wannabe, the Japanese superstar in the making. I'll pass. Walter Watanabe is It's easily one of my favorite players I drafted. There's no way I'm trading him for that. You'd have to really blow me away to make me come off of him. Especially you got Orlando Nunez asking for $4 million, and you're gonna offer that kind of trade. Like the Phillies get Orlando Nunez for a bargain. Adele Amador, he heads to the Giants. Matt Wallner heads to the Padres on a cheap deal. Still got, dude. Is he gonna sign? Jackson Merrill, is he gonna sign? Jackson Merrill is still a free agent. Brady Singer is going to the Twins. Cute. Gerardo Perdomo goes to the Twins. That's gonna hurt. Oniel Cruz only gets $5 million. Andrew Monasterio. Nathaniel Lowe is 7 point. Wow. Where did Merrill go? I didn't see Jackson Merrill sign. Jackson Merrill went back to the Braves. Okay, and there it is right there on my screen. Wow, a lot of bargains this year in free agency. And it's spring training. And here's our team ranks to start the year. This isn't even close to our set lineup. We have a lot of interesting players to be filling in here. It'll be very interesting to see who can do what and what will happen. It's so competitive here right now. We got so many good young players here. I can't wait to see spring training. I think it'll be exciting. You know, players like Witt, Donaldson, Langford, even Castro and Rodriguez and Cross, you know, they're probably not going to see a lot of playing time. I think the spring is really going to be about the young kids playing. I think I want them to play the whole way. So how I'd like spring to look. I want to see these people play for their jobs. Nixon Lane, I just want him to see. I just want to see him swing the bat. I think I'll give Wells a chance. I like that. Maybe that more. Yeah, that looks about right. That looks about right. Yeah, maybe we want to see Patrick Franco more than Louis Yoder. And what do we need? Second base here? Yeah, I guess since Curtis is kind of on the roster guaranteed, we just want to see him. I think that's fair enough. I think that'll make it interesting. But that was the off season. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll have spring training sooner than later. And I'm out.